Pow wow yo yippee yay guys, power number 50, and I'm super excited to be with you guys today. As always, we're gonna dive into the love of the community, then talk about what is happening on SwissBorg network with amazing listing of two beautiful tokens, TIA and Celestia, and Jeto as well, and then talk about what is the new thematic about. Crypto Banter is in the house, so very excited to be with you guys. As you guys know, my name is Cyrus Fizel. I'm the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg, always here to serve you. Question of the week is this a new feature? People are start sharing their portfolio location to see essentially what is happening within their crypto wealth. And I think so this is something is really cool, Nick, that we'll be sharing. I'll be sharing actually my portfolio as well, like that. You could share that all the time. It'll be a referral. And the great thing is that you could actually see how this evolves with time. So with that same link, you just be sharing it. If you guys think that this is something that you really enjoy, well, we'll be very happy to develop this at a further scale. And I think personally it's really cool because all the time people was like, Cyrus, what should I buy? What should I invest? How can I take more interest? And by sharing one's portfolio, you don't need to replicate it. At least you could see like what people are investing, and that maybe could give you some ideas or not, but at least you know what people are doing. So if you think this is good, big likes, comments, see what you like to share, see and share. Community member of the week, there's no need of an introduction. Claire in crypto, you are wonderful. You are really one that is always with a big smile and open arms to welcome a lot of people in London, but as well in different places where you are at. You are really some phenomenal. I heard that last week there was some cool events happening, that you guys really had a good time, and there was a lot of fun regarding that. I'm very excited that next month on the 23rd, I believe, I will be in London as well. So we'll be very looking forward to meet many of you guys to celebrate essentially this bull season and to talk about what's going to happen in 2024 too. If you want to be part of the next community events, we're actually having a few of them in this couple of days. So we're going to have a nice one in Fribourg. It's going to be a Christmas small celebration happening. So if you want to join, please go there. On Thursday, I will be personally at the Borg Migration Xmas celebration. That's going to be a really fun one. It's going to be at the Central House in Geneva, where a dear friend Shiraz is organizing. There's going to be a lot of different other communities too. So if you want to make it, please join us. And of course, Smart Cafe happening with Crypto Phil on Thursday. That's going to be a lot of fun too. What is happening in the world of crypto? Well, there has been 300 million crypto long liquidation just in the past of yesterday, unfortunately. But I think so it's a very healthy sign. I'll talk about it right after. Jeto airdrop was quite insane. 225 million was airdropped to users. It's a very fair way to reward your people in the best way possible. Obviously, some have, the Sybil attack is still a really big thing, right? Some people potentially have 5, 10, 20, 40 wallets, and they really take a huge amount of those airdrops, unfortunately, but it's still a good thing. I think so. Avalanche FX token is rallying despite the market downturn. So you're really seeing a lot of things going on Avalanche right now, which is a bit the third layer one, right? You have Ethereum, you have essentially Ethereum, Solana, and then you have Avalanche. Binance as well, Smart Chain, but I would still favor those other two. That is really growing, and that's good for GoGoPool for those who participated. So this is something that's really, really good. And I think so what we've seen as well recently, which is very, very good to see, we're starting to see advertisements regarding Google allowing the ETFs ads. So Google has been a very good catalyst to understand bull markets. Google is as well a good way for the American society to say what you're allowed to do, not allowed to do. And very often Google rather confirms trends or really creates them. And I think so this is a great confirmation of a bull run of people not only spending money for these advertisements, but Google letting those advertisements run on their platform, which is something very, very big about that. So things look like we're going to have a green year 2024. So are we right now into the bull market, the 4-year moment? I say no, and many times I've said that. We see that in SwissBorg right now. there's 200 people that are adding on a daily basis instead of 5,000. That's 25x less than what was happening in the bull run of 2021. So you definitely see that a lot of people that have been in the cycles for some time are, investing, and a lot of, let's say, people that are from the crypto, like you guys, are essentially investing in a smart way. But overall, you don't see a really big pickup. And again, to talk about which Google search interest is a good one. So this is not the advertisement that's pushed. This is actually the real interest that's coming from essentially people looking for Bitcoin or words similar to that. You see that recently there's a little uptick, but that's still nothing compared to what was happening end of 2020 and 2021, essentially, right? You really had something really much nicer back then, right? So this is definitely not the bull run, but overall, I think so things are going extremely well. Here, looking a little bit on Bitcoin itself, you could see that if you look at the moving averages, you see that we're above them, most of them, which is really good, the 30-day and the 5-week one too. So things are doing quite well, I would say, in terms of we're definitely in an uptrend and we're in the bull market. However, we're still at early levels, as you guys probably already know that. In terms of what is happening on the short term, you see the funding rates that a lot is actually going from there's some spots, because we saw that there's a growth of essentially some spot that came from the increase of, for example, USDT, and you see the supply going to over 90 billion. So there is some positive momentum there, but a lot of the essentially what is happening is still on the perpetuals, on the futures, so more on the trading side and not on the retail side. So this is something that is still very important to understand, is that the retail is not there yet. And I think so retail will come when the ETFs happen, right? So it'll come from essentially people buying these ETFs, but as well, people getting into that rally and say, okay, now everyone wants to be part of the party. Let's download SwissBorg, or let's reactivate my account on SwissBorg, and let's start buying these different, essentially Bitcoin and Ethereum. What you see here is that if you look at what has happened in the span of the last few days or so, most of the volume is still concentrated, and the pop is really done on Bitcoin itself and Ethereum. You don't see the rest doing all the altcoins. All the different altcoins itself, there's some few rare exceptions, but mainly it's still concentrated on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Of course, Solana and some of the Solana ecosystem doing extremely well. But the main concentration has been on the Queen and the King, especially for this time, and a bit on, let's say, the new Princess Solana, right? And some of those tokens were very low market cap, right? Extremely low market cap. So that's why, like, for example, the Borg and other different tokens have not essentially performed very well in the span of the last quarter. So let's talk about Jeto. Jeto, as you guys know, is the Lido of Solana. So a liquid staking token that enables people essentially to stake in a decentralized manner, but as well get a higher yield by maximizing MAV. I think so Jeto has really shown the world that it is one of the strong partners for liquid staking regarding the Solana ecosystem. It's backed by many different great companies like Staking Facilities and many others. Anatoly says again how Jeto gives all the benefits of MAV by reducing the negative sides of the front running and people who try to cheat some way through MAV, which is always a poor way to exploit people. I don't really like this whole MAV concept, which is how to front run essentially trades. So I think so this is something that's really nice. At SwissBorg, as you guys know, you've been able to participate in the Jeto strategy to staking for already now a few months. Some of you guys got some nice airdrops. There's a lot of airdrops that has been really given to the entire world. This has shaken the markets itself. As you look at the price, initially the price was actually at 20 cents, they thought, but it got listed at 160 something. And then it went all the way up to essentially $4, which was insane, the pump. And now it's back to 2.86. My stake is that it's a great company, though let's make things what it is. It's still 3 million, almost 3 billion total market cap, fully diluted, which is quite crazy. Which was one of the most traded token the last 4 days through SwissBorg. SEX, which is a much better SEX, as you guys know, our beautiful MEX, and actually was traded on chain, which was really nice, of more than $4 million traded through on chain through us with SwissBorg, which was really nice. But if you compare this to the peers, so essentially Toledo, which has essentially $20 billion of Ethereum, it's, I think so, roughly at a much smaller capitalization. I think so it's maybe at 1.5 or no, it's at 2.6, sorry. So it's pretty much the same thing, but it has 20 billion. And if you look at Jeto itself, right now it has only 6 million SOL on it, and 6 million SOL at, let's say, at $70, that's only $40 million on one side, $400 million on one side, which the other has essentially 20 billion. So if it overhyped? It is. But hey, you know, the good thing is that it's definitely a growing ecosystem. It's something very different as well in terms of liquid staking. They really have brought something totally different from what we've seen so far. There's some rumors about potentially having other ways to maybe even offer restaking, like a bit what Eigenlayer is doing on Ethereum that you could get through the SwissBorg app. So all in all, it's a great product, great token to have, I think so as well. And hopefully this will grow with time. The other wonderful token that has been just listed is Celestia. They call it the first modular blockchain network. I think so. What is very interesting about this is about all the rating, not necessarily the execution, and essentially enables people to create a lot of different blockchains very rapidly. So it's a bit like the Wix of essentially blockchains, where you could create your own thing going on. The token itself is obviously for essentially governance purposes. What I like about this is that if you remember what Polkadot has done with their parachain, which didn't really work that well, so they're doing it in an easier way. It's still not clear how do you build your own blockchain and what's the incentive for this and how you actually have to spend TIAs essentially. But it said that you could pay for block space, secure the network, and participate in the governance. So I don't know what pay for block space means, to be honest, but let's check how this works. So unfortunately, the document doesn't actually work. So we're not going to figure out exactly how it does. But what I like about it is that it's very much anchored in the ecosystem of Cosmos itself. So multi-chain, right? Way, obviously people who have at Atom had to receive a nice, essentially airdrop from that. It has this whole roll-ups, which obviously a lot of L2s are using themselves. So it should be able to scale essentially these blockchains going forward. Let's now look at the price action. So right now it's at $12. Actually, it's a really nice bump today within a day that's not actually very difficult. We've seen that Celestia has really pumped extremely well in the span of the last few days, even if the markets are not going very well. Though the totally fully dark market cap is at 12 billion. So right now there's a very small amount of tokens that have been released essentially. And they have this inflation of 8% per year that they'll create amount of tokens. And then they want to reduce that 8% of 10% every year. So the year N plus 2 will be 7.2 and they want to reduce it. So they have a way to bring inflation to and release more tokens, but it's more in a controlled way. What if SwissBorg now is becoming a platform where all of these different affiliates, influencers, money managers, family office, whatsoever, could start using SwissBorg as a platform to create their investment mandates, to put their thoughts and their gut feelings into a product that is built on like the thematics and the baskets that we have. And this is what all this is about. It's not about just Crypto Banter bringing their huge amount of community across the world to potentially download the SwissBorg app and to listen to what are the best convictions, what their best preferred tokens that will ride a nice cycle within the next chapter of crypto, but really use this as a way that many people could finally say, okay, you know what? This guy's not an influencer. He's actually someone who understands really what it is. So this is called the fan thematic. Fan thematic, where any people that are listening to these lovely people could finally catch the next bull run by making sure they are invested with these smart money mans. Reinvent the wheel of investment management and the community aspect, right? How SwissBorg again becomes this platform, how people agree about how to copy trade essentially crypto banter, but many other people. And so for this, I'm so excited about that. So what's going to be in the Crypto Banter portfolio? So essentially what they've done is they took quite a global approach without less risk, I would say. So they go in for layer 1s, 2s. That's really the main two themes. Then they're going as well for DeFi, utility tokens, and infrastructure. They'll be playing a global of 20 coins essentially. And the great thing about that is that yes, the Borg is considered and will be added into, of course, this thematic. So the Borg, you'll see it in every thematic that we'll be having to make sure that we have a really strong utility and a buy demand for the Borg token. More to look into it. As you said, there's 20 tokens, 9 categories for the one bull market, right? There'll be quarterly reallocations in the strategy. There'll be no rebalancings. And the minimum for this is $250 investment for this, because there's some smaller tokens and it's just easier for our technology to scale to the next million people to have essentially a higher buy-in ticket. If you don't know who Crypto Banter is, I invite you guys to check out his channel on a daily basis. Ronan himself has a great channel. It talks about all the news that happening on the market. It's really well done, so check it out. The Borg Christmas calendar, the Borgmas calendar is going to be a lot of fun stuff. You've been participating. If you haven't, check it out on a daily basis. A lot of cool stuff to be winning. The Guardian Vaults, by the way, there is a very big amount of total pool size. So if you have voted already, you'll be actually earning a very nice APY on SwissBorg. People talk about the yield. The yield is actually here. So you just need to participate. And for that, then receive, I think so, up to 7% yield. And the alpha deal that happened, we had 4 vaults, essentially went out in a very small amount of time. There was essentially the public vault, the AVAX, Google Pool Yielders, obviously Pegasus, so the super user in some way, the Pegasus, and the top 1,100 heroes, and employee vaults. So we had really 4 of them. In total, there was a $485,000 that was essentially invested into these vaults. All the vaults left in a few seconds. And there was just a small amount of transactions that were canceled this time. So much better. All in all, it was 1,208 subscriptions from 900 people. Congratulations for that. Obviously, it was a very nice discount, and the token itself is doing very well. Borg data, 568 new premium users. This is insane. This is better than the bull market, though we don't have so many essentially users, but they're just getting to understand what is the whole Borg attitude, this philosophy that behind the financial freedom that we're offering. And of course, better fees, better returns, and essentially a better experience. Which brings us to 151,000 people, 628 in the app. So a lot of new people from last week. And brings us to community, and yes, cast your score. It's going to be a big one, guys. It's going to be really a sweet one. And everything is green pretty much. Borg, the volume, the app activity, and social not doing that. Little bit slightly greenish, but a little bit between the red and the green. Holders, a little bit better. Invitations doing okay-ish. We're getting where we deserve. This community index really shows a lot of hard work at the end of the year. We've been repeating it. We're in the bull cycle, in the early stage of the bull cycle, but there's a lot of volatility and therefore a lot of things, a lot of money to be made in these certain times. I think that, going forward, we're going to have obviously some AMA. I think so 2 weeks from now, it's going to be very nice for the beginning of the year. We will have some live sessions as well to change a bit the powwow as well and to make it more interactive as possible. In the meantime, what I could say, Christmas is happening. Instead of offering all these gifts that some of them won't be used, just smart send some tokens to your loved ones. I've been doing that. I'll do it again. A lot of people just smart sending them. They're like, Cyrus, I received an SMS from SwissBorg that I have tokens. I'm like, yes, that's coming from me. Do your KYC, download the app, thank me later. And I think so this is really what I hope people will do for Christmas. There's going to be some cool videos coming up. So as always, be healthy, be wealthy, love our Borg and equity. Much love. Take care, guys. Bye.
Through SwissBorg, all assets will have a fiat gateway. And here is the thing.
Premium features gives you 0 fee trading.
It's an amazing fiat gateway.